anytime now. Anytime. Why I'm saying this is because of what is happening at the moment. There is a possibility that Imam Mahdi will appear and fight on behalf of the Muslims. Now let me explain to you, because I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation. Now first of all, let's start with Israel and Hamas. Right now Israel is so terrified. They're so terrified, they are telling their soldiers, their troops at the border, wait a second, do not go inside Gaza, because if you do go inside Gaza, you may never come out. Why? Why Israel is so terrified at the moment? Well, the reason for that is because if Israel, now you ready? If Israel they decide to go inside of Gaza, then who will intervene? Hezbollah. If Hezbollah intervenes, who will come and join with Israel? US. If US joins Israel, that means it is a regional war, a declaration of war. Now, who will then back up Hamas and also Hezbollah? Iran. Therefore, it is going to be a huge battle, a huge war break out in the Middle East. And of course, we know that Russia is waiting to pounce on this situation and do whatever it takes to destroy US and their allies. Now, let me play this interesting video, because you never have seen this video, but this person is talking about something very, very interesting.
At least is going to intervene. And if Hezbollah intervenes, the United States will intervene. And if the United States intervene, then we are talking about regional war. Iran will also intervene, Syria will also intervene. So who benefits from this?
All eyes on Israel, and all of the Western media focused on what happens next in the Gaza Strip. But of course, another country that has been under attack over the past 10 days is Syria, by the Israelis attacking the airports in Aleppo and Damascus. But Western media is, of course, silent on that story. But we are not, and we are bringing in Kevork Almassian, Syrian journalist. Kevork, good to see you. What can you tell us over the past few hours has been happening in Syria with these continued attacks on Syrian civilian infrastructure?
I believe the situation, the security situation, is deteriorating in the region after the decision of Israel to wage a ground offensive against the Gaza Strip. The declared goal, according to official Israeli officials, is to occupy the Gaza Strip and push the 2 million Palestinians to the Sinai region so that they would become refugees indefinitely, just like the 500,000 Palestinian refugees in Syria, 500,000 Palestinian refugees in Lebanon, and 2 million Palestinian refugees in Jordan, and the rest are spread all around the world. Those people.
So there is a warning, obviously, in the Quran that talks about if Israel, they return, the Bani Israel, they return to Fasad, Allah will return, means Allah will punish them. Now, the ultimate goal of the Yahudis, the Zionists, I should call them, is that they want to expel all of these people, the Palestinians, from Gaza. So 2.2 million or 3 million people, they want them to be expelled and push them towards Egypt, to the Sinai region. Now, when they would try to do that, it could be the end of Israel, because as I said, Allah Azza wa Jal promised in the Quran that He will return with punishment. So my understanding, Allahu A'lam, could be that the decision for the Zionists to go into Gaza, to attack Gaza and push out all of these residents to Egypt, to the Sinai region and make them a refugee indefinitely, could be the red line from Allah Azza wa Jal. I do not know, Allahu A'lam, but the moment, in other words, the moment they go on a ground offensive against the Palestinian in Gaza, then Allah will send down His wrath on these people, on these Zionists. But Allahu A'lam, this is from the Quran that I wanted to share.
People never had the chance to go back to their countries after they were dispelled. So the Syrian side is definitely involved in this conflict with Israel, and they are trying to, what is called in the military strategy in Syria, is to increase the pace of the retaliation depending on what the Israelis are planning in the Gaza Strip. When Antony Blinken visited the region, and he visited to Israel, also to Jordan, to Saudi Arabia, this has also preceded with a phone call for the first time between the president of Iran and with his counterpart, King of Saudi Arabia. And it seems that there is a consensus, even among the people, even among the countries who want to normalize relations with Israel, that the occupation of the Gaza Strip and expelling 2 million Palestinians to the Sinai region is a red line.
Of course, this is a red line. Of course. And this could be a red line not from Saudi Arabia or from other Muslim countries, but as I said, could be a red line from Allah Azza wa Jal himself. Because if you go to fight 2.2 million people, then you will have no choice but to use your maximum force. I'm talking about Israel. And when you use maximum force, you are going to commit war crime, you're going to kill children, you're going to kill more innocent civilians, more children, more older people. Therefore, it is going to be a complete destruction of the Gaza Strip. And this is not something that can go by without having some consequences, both from the earth and from the heaven. And this is what we pray.
And accordingly, it seems that Syria wants to join the coalition of countries, especially Iran, Hezbollah, which is a very strong actor here, and the rest of the militant groups in the Gaza Strip, that if the Israelis want to wage this ground offensive, they will also retaliate. And this also explains Biden's warning against to Israel that they shouldn't occupy the Gaza Strip, because the messages and the signals they have received from the region is that the regional countries and even the countries who are allies with the United States and want to normalize relations with Israel are against this ground operation of Israel in the...
Well, the reason also for that is because, think about this, if they do go and invade Gaza, Israeli forces, they go... Now we are seeing what they're doing with Syria at the same time. They are sending a message, Israel, that you guys need to put your act together and not interfere in these affairs, because we're going to use maximum force. What is interesting is that Israel recently attacked Syrian airports in Aleppo and in Damascus just before the Iranian foreign minister is coming to Syria. So this is a clear message to these two countries Israel is sending, that we are willing to use maximum force. At the same time, when Iran sees this and Syria is seeing this, of course they are going to also be ready. The only reason why these countries are not interfering at the moment, Iran, Syria, especially these two countries, and including Hezbollah, is because they are waiting to see if Israeli forces will go ahead and invade Gaza. What reminds me about these Israeli forces, their presence in the Gazan border, is the incident of the elephant. Okay, this reminds me of the incident of the elephant. If you remember the elephant story, so Abraha, he tried to destroy Kaaba. He gathered his forces and they stationed just outside Kaaba, and they wanted to enter and destroy. So this exactly what reminds me. Benjamin Netanyahu, his forces, they're stationed just outside Gaza. They are not daring, like Abraha, to enter into the city, because if they do, then I think they feel it is not safe. They feel this could be the end of Zionist Israel regime. I feel, I don't know, but I definitely see there is a sense of nervousness among the Israeli soldiers, including Benjamin Netanyahu, who said so many things. His foreign minister, his state minister, whatever, all of these people, they were talking so highly. Their rhetoric was so violent. They said, we're going to just destroy Gaza. We're going to cut off water, electricity, and everything. These are human animal, if you remember that. Now what we are seeing is that the tone has calmed down a little bit. So the rhetoric is coming down a little bit. And the reason for that is because they are now afraid, Israel, they are now afraid that if they do go into Gaza, then that will be the end of Israel. And this is what Biden, he understood. And this is why he said to Israel, do not go inside of Gaza. Subhanallah. I mean, this end of time battle, the Imam Mahdi battle that we talk about, it is about to unfold. And if this does unfold, then we will see, inshallah, the coming of the Mahdi taking place right away.
Gaza Strip. Therefore, yesterday we have seen this report from the Israeli side that say they want to halt or postpone the operation for 1 week because of the bad weather. The truth of the matter is that they received the information or the intelligence information from the region that there is a preparation for escalation against Israel from multi fronts. And let's remember that the Hezbollah side, they are not like Hamas. Hezbollah has over 100,000 soldiers, and they have gained lots of experience in Syria when they fought against ISIS and Nusra. Those are very vicious groups, right? And they have anti-tank missiles, they have air defense systems, and they even have anti-ship cruise missiles. Hezbollah is a regular army, and if they intervene in this war, they will neutralize the air bases of Israel. And that's why the Americans have sent two aircraft carriers to the Mediterranean, because Hezbollah and Syria, they're capable of neutralizing the air bases if Israel invades the Gaza Strip. So Israel also, at this same time, is sending signals to Syria that if you intervene, I'm going also to bomb Syria. And what happened is, in the past 10 days, they have bombed twice the Aleppo International Airport, which is used for civilian purposes, and also the Damascus International Airport, which is also used for civilian purposes. And
basically, what Israel is doing by attacking these airports is that they're trying to neutralize Hezbollah, because they don't want Hezbollah to get involved and be ready with all their weapons and anti-tank, anti-ship cruise missiles. They do not want that. So Israel is indirectly sending a message to Hezbollah that we are ready for your attack. So they are trying to neutralize Hezbollah once they're convinced, and once they reach to this conclusion that Hezbollah can effectively do no harm to Israeli forces entering into Gaza, then they will proceed with their invasion of Gaza Strip. But again, subhanAllah, things are not looking good. This regional conflict is not going to end, but it is getting much worse every single day instead.
And the timing was very interesting, because Israel bombed the airport just one day before the landing of the foreign minister of Iran to Syria. And therefore, the foreign minister of Iran had to go to Beirut, and from Beirut come with the car to Damascus, because Iran is now coordinating with the regional governments. How could they respond to the Israeli potential attack on the Gaza Strip? Now they postponed it. Let's see if they are going to follow the schedule. But if, I would say, Israel invades Gaza and they want to kick out the Palestinians to Egypt, this is definitely going to escalate, and definitely Hezbollah at least is going to intervene. And if Hezbollah intervenes, the United States will intervene. And if the United States intervene, then we are talking about regional war. Iran will also intervene,
Yeah.
Syria will also intervene. So who benefits from this? We have to ask this question.
Right.
Nobody benefits from it. I mean, the end result of this is that the destruction of the Israeli state, because of their arrogance, their haughtiness. They have killed at least 4,000 Palestinian in the last 1 week. Can you believe this? 1 week, 4,000 gone. And a lot of them are children. In fact, they said in one estimation, like most of them are children actually. And they continued this oppression against the Palestinian for the last 5 decades. Do you think that this will go unnoticed? This will go unpunished? No. You are haughty. Pharaoh was haughty too. But look at what happened to Pharaoh. He was drowned. He was humiliated. So Israel, you better be ready. If you try to harm the Palestinian ever again, I mean, whatever is happening right now, you will be accountable. You will be held accountable. Don't think that killing of this 4,000 Palestinian will not go without any accountability on Israel's part. There will be accountability, and what the accountability will be, you will never ever imagine. It is going to be absolutely devastating. Subhanallah, I mean, we are heading towards that kind of a situation where we will see malhama taking place, and inshallah the Mahdi will be with us to support and give nusra to the religion of Allah Azza wa Jal. Assalamu alaikum.